Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot that is a little bit further up than halfway. So this is kind of your halfway point here. So I want to be just a little bit above that. So about right here. And I'm just going to put a little mark there. And then I'm going to be about a third at the top. Now this is 11 inches, so approximately a third of the way up, or would be before you get to the 4, so maybe about right here. But you can kind of guesstimate that a little bit. That does not have to be super precise. Once I have those 2 marks done, I'm going to draw a line straight across, and I want it to be straight, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to draw a line straight down. And once again, I want it to be as straight as it can be, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. All right, then I'm going to make 2 equidistant points here so that it's dividing this top section into 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. So 2 marks that are kind of equidistant into 3 sections. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And once again, it does not have to be perfect, but it's just kind of guesstimated. So I'm going to put 2 marks here so that it divides this into 3 sections. Then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. And then the only difference is on this section right here, instead of doing 2 marks, I'm doing 3 marks. So when I do this section, instead of just kind of guessing, I'm going to put a mark sort of in the center, and then a mark in the center here, and in the center here. So that we have 2 marks, then 3 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks. This is the only one that has 3. Once I've done that, then I can start drawing my lines. My lines are going to center on this point right here. So I'm going to line my ruler up with my pencil on that point, and then the edge of my ruler at one of these points here. So once I have it here and here, I'm going to draw my line, and it'll go all the way across. Even though I'm using this as my reference point, it goes all the way across. And then I'm going to do the same thing for each of these points. So I'm going to put my pencil here in the center, and then I'm going to line it up so that I can see my little dot there, and then I'm next to my pencil here and draw a line. I'm going to put my pencil on the center point there, line up to my dot here, and draw my line. Center point, dot, draw my line. Once I have all of my lines coming out from the center, I am going to start drawing my waves. And to do that, I'm going to pick one of my sections that I think is about the longest. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And I'm going to start making some frown lines. And as I go out, I'm going to make them just a little bit wider apart. So I'm going to start this far apart and then just get a little bit wider. And then right here, this one, I'm going to come from this edge because I don't have an edge here anymore. And it's just going to go off the page. Then in my next section, I'm going to connect from that line, but I'm going to do some smiles. And then in the next section, I go back to frown. So I'm just rotating back and forth from frown to smile and smile to frown. When I get to my last one, I'm going to make sure that these two connect Even if it looks a little wonky, it's got to connect. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to just look at some of these sections that are a little bit longer and say, okay, do I need a little bit more there? So like right here, this one needs that little extra part right there, but we're good here. And then this one, maybe a little bit more right there. So I think the rest look pretty good. Once I've done that, I'm ready to use my Sharpie. The first thing I'm going to do with my Sharpie though is I'm going to make this little extra section right here, I'm going to make it super thick. So I'm going to draw my line to the center point there. Because this is my blue section. And then I'm going to move my ruler over just a little bit and draw that line again so that it's extra thick. So the same thing right here, I've drawn my line, I'm going to move it over just a little bit and draw the line again and make it extra thick. And it's got a little bit of weight in the center, so I'm just going to go back over that. All right, at this point, I'm ready to finish my Sharpie on all the sections. So I'm just drawing over my lines. I'm still using my ruler. It's a little bit easier this time because you just line it up on the line. And we're done.